Hi, this is Ed again, and it's July the 8th, and the year is 2020. So we're still, last video, I couldn't help but being distracted by what's going on in the United States now with the race problems, with this poor guy getting killed by the police, etc. And I'd like to maybe correct a little bit of error that I made when I was talking about the idea of racism and misogynism. I mentioned the anti-Muslim attitude as part of, in a group with racism, but of course anti-Muslim is not a racist attitude in my estimation. It's the same problem that my rocking horse I'm always on. I'm anti-Christianity, but I'm not anti-Christian necessarily. Now, I know sometimes that is too damn close to differentiate, and especially somebody who's religious, when you're criticizing the religion, they feel and act as though they are being attacked directly. And my take on it is that it's not meant to be that way. Sometimes it gets that way, or some people use it that way. You know, the kind of people that say all Christians are crazy or are stupid or something like that. But the problem I made was to include the Islam or the Muslims when I was talking about racism and misogyny, as though Muslims are what we're attacking, but it's Islam. And weirdly enough, this idea in the United States and on the internet is of Islamophobia is like, some people are claiming that if you speak against Islam, you're a racist. But it's not. What Trump is doing is racist. He's pointing at Arab people or people of color that maybe of that religion. Yeah, all Arab people, but a couple of things. To be Arab doesn't mean you're Muslim necessarily. There's of course Arabs, other religion. I know Arabs. There's one guy online that's an Arab. He's from Iran. Yeah, he's from Iran, and he runs a very popular site called the Atheist Republic. I can't say his name right now. Anyway, my point was to correct what might have sounded as though I was lumping racism and misogyny and attacks on Muslim religion together. And it's obviously, it should be what we're attacking is that kind of doctrine or attitude. When we're talking about the problems with Islam, it's the religion we're attacking, not people necessarily, of course. So I did have that little error that I noticed after when I watched the video. I'd like to point out that, again, another bit of a mistake I made. I was talking about a guy that works for the Freedom from Religion Foundation. His name is Reagan, Ron Reagan. And I'd like to refer to him as Ron Reagan because his father, of course, was the famous Ronald Reagan, who was the President of the United States. So Ron Reagan, he does his video that's become famous. It's on, and he's a member of the Freedom from Religion Foundation, and he does publicity work for them, that kind of thing. And I talked about the video that he made, lifelong atheist, and he added this one little phrase at the end that apparently blew the minds of a lot of Christians when he said, "I'm a lifelong atheist, not afraid of burning in hell." And that freaked the Christians out, sort of thing. Okay. The main thing that I wanted to talk about today is I'm back on my hobby horse. I have a friend here, a Mexican man, and when we talk, I finally got to the point of asking him, was he religious? And he's kind of like, I'm not sure what you call that. He says he believes, he's a Catholic, but barely goes through the motions. His children, he has 4 children, had them baptized, but other than that, I mean, recently an aunt died, and of course they go to the funeral and all of that kind of stuff, but as far as I could see, it's mostly, what would you call that, a cultural Catholic kind of thing. But he made me aware. I was with him yesterday. We went for a ride, went to the town next door, Quakerule, and went to a restaurant that was open and normal, and had some good food, coffee. And anyway, we were talking. I asked him about his beliefs, and what it came down to is me realizing that one of the problems is, here's a guy that says he believes, and when you start asking him what he believes, it may get so, well, no, I don't believe that. The problem is this book. If you're kind of what we call that, a liberal Christian, even if you're fairly liberal, I mean, there's got to be a level where you believe this book is true, and the book specifically says that people like me, that openly refer to myself, my wife and I, ourselves, refer to ourselves as atheists. We are, according to the book, we are evil people. Now, my friend, Carlos, if I tell him that, he's just going to laugh at that. I know, he's going to say that's ridiculous. He knows I'm a good person as far as he knows, and I am. So is my wife. We're good people. And I know he would say it doesn't matter what any book says or any people say. No, we're good people, and we certainly, I think it would get interesting if I got to ask him, so you don't think we deserve to go to hell? And do you actually believe that we would go to hell? If you don't believe that, well, that's what the book says. And the problem is that I'm a little bit nervous that he has this basic belief as some kind of a backup. But what if he's online or he's doing social media and somebody online that happens to know us makes a nasty comment about us? They don't like us for one reason, and I think Carlos is susceptible to thinking, oh, maybe what the Bible says about them might be true. Maybe they are bad people. the only thing they got on us is that we don't believe in God. I mean, from the Bible perspective. But if we, if we got in a disagreement with somebody and they, like I said, they went on social media and badmouthed us or something, I'm really nervous that he could think, well, maybe that's true. It's obviously bullshit. Now, the other thing, I'm veering a little bit here. The other thing is, I call this atheist a bird with no cage. I'm an atheist, and what I'm talking about is that lack of belief. And I'm often attacking the beliefs of Christianity, specifically the Christian religion. But I've realized, I've been aware of this for some time, but I've realized the real attack that's become obvious in this time of fear and fear-mongering and all of that is that the problem, actually, the root of the problem is superstition. And we tend to spend more time attacking religious doctrines and religious ideas. But, as far as I'm concerned, from my perspective, religious doctrine is exactly superstition. There is no magic guy in the sky. There are no angels or devils or things like that. It's all imaginary. So that is superstition. And the basis, the thing that makes this thing work is people are superstitious. I have an ex-wife who is incredibly superstitious, although I'm sure if you asked her the question, are you superstitious, she'd say no. But she believes in things like horoscopes and the chakras in the body, that Eastern idea of we have these 6 chakras and the Kundalini thing. She believes all that stuff. She probably would say that she's not religious, that she doesn't believe in, maybe she would even say she doesn't believe in God. I don't know what she'd say about that. So anyway, it almost feels like what I'm doing and what people who are doing this online, all the atheists, the atheist experience, thinking atheist, friendly atheist, all those people, there could be an argument that really what we should be saying is attacking superstition head on. That's the problem. But it's the basis of religion and everything. So, for example, I'm thinking of my friend Carlos. We're good friends. We had a good time yesterday. I pushed him a little bit to talk about some things that, the religious thing challenged him just a little bit. But what's worrying about that situation, there's a guy, I may be repeating myself here. He knows damn well that I'm a good person. He loves Glenda. She's a good person and all that. But the danger is it would be very easy, I think, to convince him that maybe we really are bad. Maybe, like the Bible says, maybe we are really evil in some profound way. So I don't know. It's actually a new idea where I think my focus and the focus of the atheist community, the free thinkers, there's all kinds of them that are called that way too, free thinkers, humanists, all those kinds of things, that our real concern should be superstition. Because once you have superstitious belief, you believe things without justification. Man, you can be tricked very easily, and you can go anywhere. So I don't know if it's sort of influencing the way I'm thinking about this whole thing right now, but I don't really know where I'm going to go with it. If I'm going to do anything, say, hey, quit attacking religion, because religion's sort of an offshoot of superstition. So if we're really attacking the problem at the base, we'd be attacking superstition, I think. Okay, I'm meandering. I just basically want to get that basic idea out there, and I want to say those thumbnail things again, like Ron Reagan says in his Ron says, I'm a lifelong atheist, not afraid of burning in hell. I'm not a lifelong atheist. I first called myself an atheist here in Mexico about 20 years ago, and certainly not afraid of burning in hell. One of the things I talked about with Carlos the other day is the idea some people who are atheists still have this concept of hell implanted in their mind. You know, if they come up through fundamentalist religions, including Catholicism or forms of Catholicism, they can get this hell idea so deeply implanted in their mind that really difficult to get it out. I never have had it. I never, as a young person, I never believed in hell. I mean, heaven was a kind of idea, well, that's airy-fairy kind of thing. That would be nice, just put around in this magic place where, as a kid, I heard the streets are paved with gold, and I don't know, there's all kind of lovely music going on all the time, everything. I don't believe in any of them, and I never got the hell thing pumped into me, so there was never a problem, in my situation, there was never a problem of having to spend years to try to get the fear of hell out of your mind. I've never had it, but so it's very easy for me to say, not afraid of burning in hell. Okay, this video is getting long, so I'm just going to kind of stop it and say, today is June the 8th, 2020, year 2020, and it looks to me like the fear of the virus is lessening, it's going down, and things are starting to happen. Apparently we had a plane load of people, of Canadians, come in the other day from, I don't know, Toronto, I guess. So that's like, wow, really? That's a big change. To be able to go and sit in a restaurant with people around and order food normally. I'm sure we'll have bars opening soon. Although we got a problem here in Mexico. There's a huge lack of beer because apparently the breweries, some of the breweries at least, stopped making beer during this pandemic situation, and now they're trying to get it fired up. It's hard to get the beer supply up. So, but maybe we'll have even some bars opening. That'll be interesting to see how it goes. Okay, my name is Ed. Just against my wife's wishes once more, I'm going to mention it. If you notice while I'm doing this, I have these old guys issues where I kind of chew my cud. I got false teeth, and the upper teeth are false, and I make these weird faces and shit like that. So apologize for that, but mostly my mind still works, reasonably well. And so once again, I'm an atheist, not afraid of burning in hell. Shout out to Ron Reagan and the Freedom from Religion Foundation, and all those kinds of folks that we're all in the same barrel, so to speak. Thanks again. This is Ed, and we'll see you in the next one.